Welcome back to Cooking with Frenchy. Cooking and baking made easy. Today it's all about Christmas joy. So check this recipe. As I always say, the first thing you have to do with making pastries is to measure your ingredient properly. Please use a scale. We are going to use brown sugar, golden syrup, unsalted butter, ginger powder, cinnamon, milk, cake flour, baker's flour, and baking powder. The first thing we are going to do is to sieve our ingredients. It's always important to do so, especially our dry ingredients that will aerate the product as well as getting rid of every little lumps. Once we sieve the flour, we can then sieve the spices, the baking powder, cinnamon, brown sugar, and do exactly the same. So I'm using a stand-up mixer today. You could do that by hand, it's not a problem. Just to take a little bit more time, I believe. You add your butter and your golden syrup, the brown sugar. It's all in. That's what we call the rubbing all in method, using a paddle on your stand-up mixer attachment. It's very easy recipe. You can do with the kids. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'm using exactly the same recipe to build gingerbread house. So it's something that's quite nice. It's light. It's not over sweet. So the paddle attachment in the machine and on speed 2. That's going to take, because my butter is quite cold, it's going to take between 6 to 8 minutes to really work it out. So we are going to speed up the process. So we want a granulated texture as it is now, but something tells me it's still a little dry. So I'm going to stop the machine, have a good look, scrape around. I'm feeling the texture, and as I can see, still a little bit dry, still really breaking under my fingers. So scrape around to make sure all my ingredients are well incorporated together. Try again, and I still feel like when you press at the edge of the dough, it's still a bit crumbly. So I'm going to add about 10 ml of milk. And that's something you might have to adjust from time to time, depending on the weather where you store your flour. Might be a little bit drier, might take a little bit more moisture. And this is a pastry, it's working with the environment. And now, once my milk's been incorporated, I can feel it's much nicer. When I press on the edge, it stays much smoother. And that's really what we want. We don't want something that crumbles under your fingers. So I'm not letting resting my dough just yet. I generally work it out straight away. So I try to work it as a rectangular shape at first between two pieces of baking paper or silicone paper. Some people might use silicone mat, that's up to them. And here's healthy. If you want a regular thickness, you can use some kind of bars like this or something you have at home. That's pick up about a 2 to 3 mil thick. So like this, we have a uniform product. Once we're done, we can start using our beautiful little cutters, depending if you have the gingerman, you have a Christmas tree, stars, and many more. The sugar cane as well, you can have the glove, and deer, and start to have a bit of fun. Mr. Herf is telling us what to do. So you cut your little mans and you put it another silicone tray. Tray with a silicone paper on it. This recipe, I must say, does about 40 to 50 pieces. So be ready. If you want a little less, you might want to divide the recipe by 2. But for me, I use it as a little present for friends that come around, and just give them to them. Something really nice, made by yourself and easy to do. A few Christmas tree, some stars. And once it's done, I'll let that rest for at least 30 minutes. The dough needs to rest for a bit. While this is resting, I'm actually putting the oven at 160 degrees. Very important you preheat your oven. And then I'm going to prepare my sugar icing for decorating. I bake them between 6 to 8 minutes if you want them to remain a little soft and not overcook them. Once they are done, I let them cool down by themselves. If I do bake them for a house, I bake them 8 to 10, maybe sometimes 12 minutes. Make sure they're much harder. So for your sugar icing decoration, same, I'm using pure icing sugar here. Sieve it, add your egg white, use a spatula, and incorporate both ingredients together. Always do a base of sugar icing first, remains white, of course, and then you can divide it in different bowls later and put your food coloring inside. If the consistency feels too runny for you, just add a little bit more icing sugar, little by little. Once it's done, I'm going to prepare a paper piping bag. You might just want to use a plastic bag. I have another video on my channel about how to make those piping bag and how to decorate with chocolate as well. I find that people really struggle doing this with a triangle, bringing one corner to the center and turning around to create that conical shape, and getting the paper around it and let it slice for both edges to combine together and create a pointy bit. You always close the paper from inside. So once you're done, you fill up only to halfway the paper piping bag. Don't overfill it, you're gonna have sugar everywhere. Once you filled it, you close it carefully, and then with a small knife you can cut just the pointy bit, just to make sure that you have the thickness you want. So you don't want to cut too much at first, just a thin or fine line. And now you can enjoy decorating. So I must say that was the first time I was doing this. I just had fun. I just really didn't care too much about what was happening, but it was just a little bit of fun on making them. So a few dots here and there. Get your ideas on the internet. Check a few designs. There's always some inspiration here and there. But that was quite funny. You will see some of them are quite mad. There we go. You can add a little sugary bits to it if you want to. You can put it a little hat on them. Some of them I bought some fake eyes to put on the gingerbread man, so they look totally spaced out. So here will help you with the decoration. I hope you enjoyed the sound of the roosters behind. They are in full form today, and it's not that early. It's nearly 4 p.m. in Western Australia. This is done. This is just a cute little one. Don't be shy. Have fun with yourself, the kids, your friend. Just create a night of it. Have a few drinks if you want to. It's just going to be fun. It doesn't take so long to do, and it's a good way to get together, gather around the kitchen, and get into the spirit of Christmas. Go, a few more. Gonna do a star, few little dots here and there. Nice and easy. Don't have to stress too much about it, stress over it. You should be having fun. The beauty of those biscuits, you can keep them for ages. Look at them. Look at my space that little man. Can keep them for a few weeks in an airtight container. You can wrap them individually, put a name tag on it, put it on the Christmas table. People will have so much fun. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas.